Hello, my friends, and let's dive right into the situation on the front line. In the Kupiansk direction, the occupiers have resumed offensive actions towards Avdiivka. Continuous shelling of Petropavlivka is ongoing. So, late yesterday evening, the Ukrainian armed forces reported that a powerful attack on Avdiivka had begun. We are waiting the results. Additionally, the situation is extremely complex in the Ivanyivka and Kislivka areas. Intense firefights are taking place, erasing the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in these villages, and powerful assaults on Ivanyivka are underway. Over the day, the occupiers have conducted 4 assault operations, and we are waiting to see the outcome of these attacks. But the occupiers intend to make significant advances here, deploying considerable forces in this direction. In the Tabaivka area, shelling continues for now. So it seems that the Ukrainian forces, as before, are holding certain positions there, and the occupiers are attempting to dislodge them. There are no changes along the front line over the day. In the Svatova area, there is minimal number of shelling, and the front line remains unchanged as before. In the Krymina direction, offensive actions continue towards the village of Terne, and shelling persists in the areas of Nevelske and Torske. 3 attacks were conducted within a day, but the occupiers didn't achieve success, leaving the front line unchanged. In the Siversk direction, the occupiers continue shelling, but as before, there are no new offensive actions reported. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers are once again attempting to break through to Bogdanivka and Klishivka areas. 2 attacks were conducted within a day, but the occupiers didn't succeed. Shelling along the front line also continues. So it seems that the overall activity of the Russians is gradually decreasing. So there is hope that by spring they might indeed cease the attacks and start accumulating reserves for the next offensive, possibly in the coming winter, as it appears they may refrain from advancing during the summer months. In the Avdiivka direction, there is a high level of activity. The occupiers conducted 29 attacks within a day. The situation is challenging in the area of the coke and chemical plant, where the occupiers are advancing with multiple groups. So each day brings more confirmations that they have advanced 2 kilometers and approached the outskirts of the city. Intense battles are also taking place in the industrial zone. The occupiers, as before, are attempting to return to the outskirts of the city to further develop their success. Shelling is occurring along the entire front line and in the rear at maximal intensity. Additionally, on the southern flank, attacks on Pervomaiske and Nevelske continue. In the Marinka area, offensive actions persist towards Georgiivka. However, battles near Krasnohorivka have ceased. The Ukrainian forces successfully held their defense, and the front line remains unchanged. But difficult battles are also ongoing for Novomykhailivka. The occupiers intensively shell the populated area and attempt to break through from 2 sides. But within a day, there are no confirmed changes along the front line, and the Ukrainian forces continue to hold their defense. In the Vuhledar direction, the occupiers have resumed intensified attacks on the Ukrainian forces' positions in the direction of Zolota Niva. Challenge along the front line persists, so we are waiting to see the outcome of the new attacks, but for now, the front line remains unchanged. In the Zaporizhia direction, the occupiers have increased the number of Shalom incidents, and offensive actions are now taking place both in Robotine and in the Verbove areas. Within a day, they conducted 3 attacks, all unsuccessful. The Ukrainian forces are holding their defense and continue to eliminate the occupiers. Also, today there is a very challenging situation in the area of the village of Krynky. Yesterday, Russian war correspondents reported that allegedly Teplinsky received a call from Moscow. So they strongly criticized him for not being able to push the Ukrainian forces out of the small village for 4 months.
Today, General Teplinsky received a call from Moscow. It's the most disgusting way you Bali with this call. He promised to fix everything on the phone, even began to stutter. Let's keep going.
As a result, today we are witnessing powerful assaults on the village conducted simultaneously by multiple groups. So it seems to be connected with pressure from the command to push the Ukrainian forces out from the left bank. However, it appears that our fighters continue to successfully repel the Russians, as reported by Russian war correspondents.
328 Airborne Assault Regiment, 104 Airborne Assault Divisions, all completely exhausted. The fighters are mutinying. Tomorrow they do not want to go to another assault on Krynky, even under the threat of execution. People don't believe in success and are tired. Everything is blamed on Teply. As long as it's...
In general, the Ukrainian forces positioned on the left bank with limited resources and support are successfully eliminating a significant number of Russians. This topic has become so sensitive for the Russians that it's already been discussed on television.
У нас есть отбитые поселки, но понимаешь, я вынужден в этом случае повторять одну и ту же фразу, что сражениями за избушку лесника войну не выиграешь. Понимаешь? И когда мы Крынки несчастные, которых уже просто кроме как названия на карте не существует, с ними, ну, скажем, занимаемся их зачисткой уже как минимум 4 месяца, и мы в любом случае еще не закончили эту работу. А уж цена у этой работы, те, кто там воюет, они прекрасно знают. И с ошибками, и не с ошибками, и как угодно. Но в этом случае надо признать, что выполняется та главная цель, даже то главное условие, которое, извини, мы с тобой здесь в этой студии обсуждали в октябре, когда было понятно, что наступ провалился. Американцы поставили задачу украинцам уравнять потери с русскими.
Today's Russian offensive along the entire front line is causing massive losses for the entire Russian army, almost 1,000 personnel daily, significant casualties, including equipment, despite Russia's substantial mobilization resources. So we are waiting to see how events will unfold further. Meanwhile, it seems that Yuri Butusov misled everyone about Zaluzhny's dismissal. Yesterday, he mentioned that there would be a meeting to decide Zaluzhny's fate. Now, the results of the meeting have appeared online, and strangely, there is no mention of Zaluzhny at all.
Volodymyr Zelensky held a regular meeting of the staff. Pushpin. The situation at the front was reported by Commander-in-Chief Zaluzhny and the commanders in the directions, Moskalev, Syrsky. Avdiivka is particularly difficult. Pushpin. Ukrainian production of drones. Plan for 2024. Contracts have been increased. We have planned an additional budget for drones and will ensure its implementation. Reports by Deputy Prime Minister Fedorov and Defense Minister Umarov. In general, this year, more than 90% of drones at the front are domestically produced. Pushpin shells. Production and import. We are also increasing contracts. And we are speeding up manufacturers. Report by the Minister of Defense. Pushpin fortifications. Building up fortifications. Pushpin energy. Recovery after Russian strikes, physical protection of the energy sector, are systemic steps. Detailed reports. We are going through this heating season steadily.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.